So it's Chris and Brian here, and today it's Ticket Talk, where we're going to talk about a help desk ticket, a very challenging one that we had with Outlook, the desktop Outlook client, and what Chris found out to fix the slowness that we were seeing on a shared mailbox. So Chris, can you help everybody out with, in case they run into this issue with mailbox slowness and on a shared mailbox?
Yeah, so what ended up happening is we had a shared mailbox for like a department for a company, and there was a bunch of attachments in there, emails. We initially thought it might have been every single email had an attachment. We thought it was too large of a mailbox, but that was not the case. We eventually, what happened was is within Outlook there is, they had the shared mailbox. Whenever anyone tried to go into that shared mailbox on like 5 different computers, it would completely freeze Outlook and it would become unresponsive and you'd have to force close the application. We tried recreating mail profiles and all that fun stuff. But what we ended up doing is we did a speed test on the device because we realized they were all the same model devices. So it was the same Dell model that was having the issue. They have full gig internet over there, but we were seeing really, really slow upload speeds. And upon, looked all over the internet, we did run into an article for one of the NICs the device has, which is this killer NIC. And the drivers were really old because Killer was eventually bought out by Intel. So they're Intel killer NICs now. But this was an older model from 2019, and it was affecting one of the Dell devices models we had in production. And you had to go in the killer control, download the control center app, change that out, test again, and then the speeds weren't all, the upload speeds weren't all screwed up.
And just for our audience that might not be as technical, NIC stands for a network interface card, basically the network adapter that's on board with your computer or separate from your computer. And it's where the network cable plugs into. So this was a wired connection, like Chris said, and it was specific to this brand of network adapter. Go ahead, Chris, sorry.
Yeah. So, we generally don't use like, Dell XPS, and so we'd use like an Optiplex or Precision Workstation for CAD machines. But, some people do have, those home models like a XPS. Well, so the killer NIC is usually something you'd see on like a gaming machine. But in this, they generally just work like any other NIC. But you have to tweak out the settings in here or update the driver. Essentially, this upload speed 0.18, like that's below that's less than what a DSL connection would give you. So that's why the connection, Outlook kept crashing because it didn't have a stable connection.
And we were all chasing our tails we just thought it was maybe too many items in Outlook that can cause problems, or the way the settings were in Outlook. But we looked through all that and basically couldn't find anything until Chris went down this network adapter route. So once you installed the driver, right, the firmware update, everything went back to normal?
Well, so yes, but we ended up rebooting the workstation and the issue persisted. So it wasn't just the driver. You had to, we found this article and you got to get this control center app to control some of the settings there. Like there's some, not QoS settings, but they got some bandwidth limiting settings and stuff like that. And if you turn some of that off, it resolves it.
Wow.
So it was like a 2-part problem.
Yeah, we typically don't see this, right, Chris? This is really out of whack. This is why it threw everybody off, because we were just at wit's end. Because typically nowadays you don't have to go into the NIC settings anymore. They pretty much, you just accept the defaults out of the box, and it pretty much, everything pretty much works. So this was definitely a weird one. Is there anything else you want to add about this one, Chris?
So, I mean, the only other weird one like this we've seen, there's actually an issue with some Dell and Lenovo laptops where the wireless, it acts as if it doesn't have a wireless adapter, so that you can't connect to Wi-Fi. You actually have to hold the power button on the device and hard reset the device in order for that adapter to, reinitialize, and you're able to connect wirelessly.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for those tips, Chris. And hopefully this will help somebody out if again, it's with Microsoft Outlook, it's the desktop client. And if you start to see slowness in the mailboxes, especially like in this case, a shared mailbox, slow to download, just double check your network adapter settings, and we'll try to leave a link in with this video. Okay, thanks a lot, Chris. Have a
Yep.
good day.
Bye.
Bye.